the station working for you. This is WRTV News at 11, streaming now.
Protests are expected to continue this weekend around the country and in Louisville. Following this week's announcement, officers will not be charged in the death of Breonna Taylor. She has become one symbol of the movement for social justice reform, along with calls to defund the police. WRTV's Cameron Riddle shows you how one Indianapolis group planning a demonstration tomorrow is working to put ideas and action behind that phrase.
You can say a chant or a slogan in the streets or during protests, and then when decision makers, when gatekeepers, when power brokers get a hold of it, they may just be moving money around.
Matt Davis is the co-chair of the Indiana Racial Justice Alliance. He says the phrase defund police must be accompanied by a demand on how that money should be reinvested in the community.
And not just insert new thing other than the police. It's insert what we need, right? Defund law enforcement, and then put that back into something that actually prevents crime.
Davis says through the past year, organizations like his have been listening and talking with residents of the city, oftentimes during protests. He says the people he's talked to have made it clear that it's time to evolve public safety down to changing who responds to 911 calls.
Eleanor Northington was a black woman that was killed, a 45-year-old black woman that was killed. She was having a mental health crisis at a church, right? Was hogtied and choked out. Why were the police even called for that? They needed a mental health professional to walk in that church and to help that woman out.
In a statement, the city says Mayor Hogsett agrees that investment in mental health and community programs is critical to addressing the root causes of crime and creating systematic change, which led to the creation of a criminal justice reform task force and a program that pairs mental health professionals with a crisis intervention trained law enforcement officer to intervene when someone is experiencing a mental health crisis.
We are tired of it. We are still here to defund law enforcement in a way that makes sense.
Cameron Riddle, WRTV.
The Indiana Racial Justice Alliance will be meeting outside City Market at 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. While no large protests are known to be planned this weekend, IMPD has said it will be monitoring any possible demonstrations to allow the right to protest while protecting people and property. Tomorrow, most of Indiana will move to Stage 5 of the Back on Track plan, but not Marion County. Instead, the county will only ease some restrictions starting Monday, surprising some business owners.
We kind of figured after the governor made his announcement that we went back to Stage 5, we're elevated to Stage 5, that we would get the same or even farther with Mayor Hogsett, that he would change it for us as well, but that wouldn't have been the case, as you know.
Under the new health order starting next week, restaurants and bars can operate at 50% capacity indoors and up to 100% outdoors. Under the statewide order, those businesses can operate at 100% capacity. In both cases, social distancing measures are still required. In Marion County, museums, cultural, entertainment venues, and gyms can open at 50% capacity, statewide 100%. And in Marion County, live entertainment can resume at bars, clubs, and performance venues with social distancing and a 10-foot buffer between stages and the audience. While this is a step forward, some bar owners say the changes are not enough, especially since the rest of the state is opening up. Mayor Joe Hogsett says Marion County faces different challenges.
It's nice to see them budge a little and go up to a 50% capacity, but then again, you're closing us at midnight. We're nightclubs and bars. So most people don't even come out until 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night. And then I don't understand why we close at midnight. Is it any different? Is COVID more out after 12 o'clock?
Because of the population density, our approach will differ from rural and suburban counties. Frankly, it would be irresponsible if it did not. However, our approach will always be guided by the best available data and the consultation of health experts.
For more details about Marion County changes set to start on Monday and Stage 5 changes that start tomorrow, go to WRTV.com. New at 11, firefighters go the extra mile to save a family pet on the south side of Indianapolis. Jordan Updike and Carly Weidman's dog Penny went missing yesterday, and after hours of searching, Jordan heard the pup whimpering in the backyard. It appears she tunneled through a gopher hole near a neighbor's shed and got stuck underneath the concrete slab. Jordan and Carly spent hours trying to coax Penny out, but nothing worked. Today, 2 Indianapolis firefighters, who are also members of Indiana Task Force 1, joined the rescue operation using special equipment. It appears the area caved in around Penny once she was underground, and crews spent around 3 hours digging her out this afternoon, finally reuniting the scared pup with her owners. No place like being back in the arms of your owner there. What a great story to see here on this Friday evening, Kevin. And we're looking forward to the weekend, and we're hoping we got some good news for us out there.
We've got some warm news, that's for sure, and another good show tonight, a free show. Saturn, Jupiter, and the moon hanging out together in the southern sky. If you didn't get a good look tonight, you've got another chance tomorrow night. Temperatures really kind of the top story as we go through the weekend. Well above average during the day tomorrow. We'll see the wind increase in the afternoon, gusting over 20 miles per hour, maybe even some 30 mile per hour gusts by tomorrow night. Lots of sunshine around. Notice it's a south wind. That pulls our temperatures up to 83 tomorrow, and it will keep temperatures in the 60s overnight into Sunday morning. We're dry tomorrow. We'll talk about our increasing cloud cover and a chance for some Sunday showers, maybe a thunderstorm, where that could be, and the big change for next week all straight ahead.
All right, we'll see you soon, Kevin. Thank you. Metro Police have identified the officer who shot a suspect on the east side of Indianapolis. Officer Marshall Burkbile is a 19-year veteran of the department. Investigators say he shot a man on East Pleasant Run Parkway Sunday after the man pointed a gun at officers. It happened as police responded to a large fight. The man who was shot has been out of the hospital for several days. He's also accused of shooting 2 women during Sunday's chaos and is facing charges. A woman is speaking with our WRTV for the first time since losing her son to gun violence last month. On August 21st, Crystal Gray received a call that her son, Kevin Ritchie Jr., had been shot. From what she understands, her son was mistaken for someone else. Now this grieving mother is on a mission to fight gun violence.
We are fighting against each other, not the police against black people, not, whites against black, but we're fighting youth against youth, young black youth against young black youth.
Crystal plans on connecting with different people in the community to find the best solution to save more young lives. Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg will be laid to rest next week. Today, mourners honored her life and legacy in the U.S. Capitol. Meanwhile, as ABC's Elizabeth Schulze reports, President Trump is preparing to announce his pick to replace the iconic trailblazer.
Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg making history one last time today as the first woman and first person of Jewish faith to lie in state at the Capitol. In an intimate ceremony inside Statuary Hall, personal touches to honor the life of the iconic justice. Her love of opera music and her personal trainer of 20 years doing a push-up to say goodbye. A reminder of Justice Ginsburg's tenacity in a long fight with cancer.
Today we stand in sorrow, and tomorrow we, the people, must carry on Justice Ginsburg's legacy.
Republican and Democratic women in Congress lining the steps of the Capitol to pay their final respects, but the rare bipartisan moment unlikely to last. The president expected to announce his nominee to fill Justice Ginsburg's seat tomorrow, but ABC News confirming he is expected to pick Judge Amy Coney Barrett.
We're going to be naming the nominee. Hopefully we'll be on that court for 50 years, 5-0.
This despite a new ABC News Washington Post poll finding by a wide margin, most Americans say the winner of the election should fill the vacancy and a Senate vote should happen next year. With just 39 days until Election Day, President Trump continuing to question without evidence the integrity of the results and still not saying he will commit to a peaceful transfer of power.
We want to make sure the election is honest, and I'm not sure that it can be. I don't know that it can be.
Joe Biden, meanwhile, taking a pause from the campaign today, along with his running mate Kamala Harris, to attend the ceremony in honor of Justice Ginsburg. Justice Ginsburg will be laid to rest next week at Arlington National Cemetery next to her beloved husband, Marty Ginsburg. Elizabeth Schulze, ABC News, the Capitol.
The 2020 census count will continue into next month. A federal judge has ruled that the original end date of October 31st should be reinstated. Last month, the Commerce Secretary moved the deadline, citing concerns over safety with COVID-19. Several civil rights groups sued, saying the change would lead to a more inaccurate count. The census plays a key role in the way funding is allocated to states and communities. You can take part in the census by mail, phone, or online. The number is 844-330-2020. If you prefer to respond in Spanish, call 844-468-2020. And the website is 2020census.gov. Every school hopes to celebrate homecoming with a win. Coming up here, the WRTV sports team takes us to week 6 of Friday football.
We've all had a bit more time to think about, well, what would we like to do?
And a little later, despite the pandemic, many women are making career changes. Why and how they're making their ambitions a reality during this difficult time. Tomorrow, you're invited to get your groove on at White River State Park. The end of the summer Groovin' Back Downtown event kicks off at 2:30. Local bands will perform, food trucks will be on site, and beer and alcohol will be for sale. Everyone will be required to wear a mask and follow social distancing guidelines.
It will be social distance. We have squares in the lawn for people to stay within the square 6 feet apart, and they can come in groups of 2, 4, or single. We also, with the seats, we will block off every other row, and then we will have seats in between groups as well.
This summer was supposed to kick off a new era at White River State Park after a multi-million-dollar renovation project over the winter to build a permanent stage and other amenities. Instead, no concerts were held due to the pandemic.
This is the jewel of our downtown, this beautiful 250 acres. It now has this spectacular facility that has sat dormant all summer. These kind of activities that we're going to have this Saturday are perfect ways to kind of get that desire to come back into this beautiful part of our downtown and enjoy what we've all missed about this summer.
Downtown Indy Inc. and White River State Park work together to make tomorrow's event happen. Tickets will be sold at the park. Prices range from $5 to $15. If you missed tonight's Flicks at Victory Field event, you can still catch a movie from behind the dugout in 2 weeks. The baseball-themed showings are part of an effort to bring fans to the stadium, even though COVID forced the cancellation of this year's Indians season. This evening, people watched Angels in the outfield.
We've blocked out seats to build in the social distancing aspect, so you're not having to think through which seats do I need to click on to make sure I'm not within 6 feet of the next group of people. We've taken care of that part for the people that are buying those seats, and you'll see the ones that are lighted up, those are the ones that are available. We've still got about 350 left for that last Friday night.
The third and final screening is Friday, October 9th. A League of Their Own will be shown. For more information, go to IndyIndians.com. There's no crying in baseball, Kevin. Did you know that?
I knew that. I wish I knew it when I was playing as a little kid, because I cried a lot. I was afraid of the ball. All right, there's excitement about the weekend, perhaps. Temperatures, they'll be in the 80s. Nice. Warm temperatures for the first weekend of fall. Both Saturday and Sunday about the same. The difference, clouds will increase for the second half of the weekend, and I'll show you how our chance for some rain increases over western Indiana first. Now, we're starting in the morning. On the Sunday, you see the clouds increasing through the day. It's late in the afternoon that we see some showers move in, and then overnight through Monday, potential for some rain. That's with a cold front that will knock our temperatures back eventually well below average. We'll move from the 80s to only 60 for a high later next week. The wind will be gusty at times out of the west, northwest, and it will be a cool wind next week. As far as our rainfall potential, not as much as we'd like, but if we could all get at least some rain, that's important. We've had predictions here with a couple different models, anywhere from 1/4 to maybe 1/2 inch. The trend has been toward bringing those rainfall potential numbers down. Temperatures up tomorrow into the low 80s, lots of sunshine around. As I mentioned, the wind is going to increase in the afternoon and evening. We may see some 30-mile-per-hour gusts by tomorrow night. Temperatures pretty uniform across all of central Indiana, and that wind tomorrow night will keep our temperatures propped up. The overnight low into Sunday morning, 64 degrees. That's the warmest overnight temperature in the forecast. Sunday, you see temperatures again at 80 or above. Our rain chances will diminish as we go into later Monday, and then may come back again later in the week. As you look at next week, I've broken it down. I've done every other day here so you can see the total picture of the falling temperatures. We'll be down to 60 for a high by the time we get to Friday. Overnight low temperatures will struggle just to reach. The overnight temperatures will be in the upper 30s, but afternoon highs will struggle to reach 60. If we don't see any more rain this month, it would be the driest month on record for Indianapolis. We've had just 0.04 of an inch so far. Our big chance, Sunday late into Monday. Then we'll have some more showers, but it looks like it'll be later next week. Of course, we'll arrive at a new month right in the end of next week, so Thursday will be the 1st of October. There are your cooler temperatures, 60 next Friday, Mark, with a low of 42. Enjoy the warmth this weekend and find your coat for next week.
That's right. The cool down is coming. Thanks, Kevin. The Ball State football team will take to the field this fall. After all, today, the Mid-American Conference announced it will have a 6-game season starting November 4th. A full schedule will be released later. All of college football's major conferences have voted to start playing in the coming months. That includes the Big Ten, which will start on October 24th. Many schools around the area celebrating homecoming tonight, and while they were crowning kings and queens at halftime, a few football teams are racking up some big wins as well. Brad Brown starts our coverage tonight on the Northeast side.
We started our night at Heritage Christian. The unbeaten Eagles taking on 5-0 Covenant Christian. Heritage trailed by 10 at halftime, cut the margin in the third quarter. Colton Brown dives into the end zone. Touchdown makes it a 3-point game. But Covenant had the man of the night, and that was Micah Wilson. The tailback turns the corner here, finds the end zone, would make it a 15-point game at a 29-14 edge. Heritage was not done, though. Late in the third quarter, they find the end zone again. Nate Thompson on his way down the field with stiff arm a defender, and that cut it to just an 8-point game. But it would be Wilson's third score of the second half that would put the game away. Turns the corner, the afterburners get him to the end zone. 36-21 the final. Covenant Christian improves to 6-0 on the season. Let's get a look at the Bishop Chatard Trojans, the top-ranked team in Class 3A, making a ton of plays on both sides of the ball against Guerin Catholic tonight. Opening drive of the game, Matthew Coons had one called back on a penalty earlier, punches one in for the first touchdown. Chatard takes a 7-0 lead. The defense coming up with one as well. The turnover forced by Jackson Bolin going up to get the interception. Chatard had a 14-point lead, would make it 21 soon after that. Carter St. John finds the big tight end Logan O'Brien in the end zone. 21 on the board with that one. Chatard goes on to the big win as they improve to 5-1 on the season. Dave Barron continues our Week 6 coverage in Madison County.
LaPel High School, the first stop tonight as they hosted Traders Point. Opening drive, and the Bulldogs got on the board quick. Brennan Slow finds Nick Will for the touchdown. Extra point would be blocked. 6-0 Bulldogs. A few drives later, Brennan Slow with the big gain on the keeper. That would set up Tyler Dowler for the score. Then in the second quarter, Brennan Slow would find Parker Allman. And he does it from there. Touchdown, and LaPel would grab the 41-6 win. Second stop tonight was a visit over to Pendleton Heights as they hosted Mount Vernon. The Arabians came in with the 14-7 halftime lead, but the Marauders would put 6 on the board quick to start the fourth quarter. Then they would get a key turnover deep in their own territory. That would lead to Keegan LaBelle touchdown and a 19-14 lead. Pendleton Heights would come back with a drive, but Luke Cannonati's pass intercepted by Rylan Cole, and that would set up LaBelle again for the touchdown. The Marauders come back to get the 27-21 win over Pendleton Heights. Dave Marin, WRTV Sports.
A Carmel-based company is helping local healthcare workers rebound after they were let go by Community Health Network this summer. Replay Clinic in Kokomo closed its doors for good on August 30th, resulting in the layoffs of 36 employees. Elite Therapy moved into the space the next day. The outpatient and home care company has locations in Carmel, Logansport, and Lafayette. Owner Melissa Dickey says that Elite was already doing home therapy in Kokomo when they heard about Replay closing and saw this as an opportunity. They've hired half of the physical and occupational therapists who were laid off, including Michelle Nicholson.
We've been treating 3 generations, of families, and so it was important to us to still be able to serve in that capacity in our community and keep our doors open. So I'm so proud of our staff who worked so hard to make it happen.
Grissom, the therapy dog, is one of 18 employees who made the transition from Replay to Elite. They've also retained dozens of patients who receive physical and occupational therapies. The Carmel-based company says they plan to be in Howard County for the long haul. The pandemic is giving many people a new perspective on life and their jobs. Scripps reporter Jessica Paris reports many women are reconsidering their career choices.
And so what we wanted to do was, rather than just guess what people were thinking, we wanted to do this global survey to really try and understand how women were thinking about their careers as we emerged. And we were actually very pleasantly surprised.
Albright Collective, a membership-based club created by women, aims to provide inspiration, career coaching, networking, and more for women around the world. CEO Anna Jones says they surveyed 800 members during the pandemic, and 61% of them said they were going to be pivoting in their career.
Now, that may mean pivoting to a different industry or a different job, or it may be actually thinking about how to pivot within the organisation that you work in. But we were very pleasantly surprised that it was quite positive, and women were very keen to kind of grab this time as an opportunity and make their ambitions become reality.
The survey also showed 25% of women were already in the process of changing their careers.
Are there certain circumstantial things that happened that made them think, you know what, I think I want something different for myself?
I think we've all got used to working in a different way. I mean, we're all sitting on Zoom and we're connected digitally in a way that we could never have imagined. So I think for many women who perhaps wanted to work more flexibly, they've proven that they can.
Former teacher and mom of 4, Elizabeth Middleton, isn't surprised by the survey's results. She too is in the middle of a career change, starting her own business, Forward Function Health.
It's been a major life shift. I knew, and it wasn't just because of the pandemic. Fortunately, before the pandemic, I was making this shift, but the pandemic just confirmed that it's the best thing for my family and self. And I think the pandemic has woken everybody up. It woke me up.
Middleton is nearly finished with her courses relating to nutrition and wellness counseling, thrilled to find a career that fills her soul.
We launch fully in 2021. However, I've had quite a few people already on board with needs throughout this corona. So I'm looking forward to helping people.
And I also think maybe it's just that we've had a bit of time. Admittedly, people have been juggling a lot, juggling their household chores and the household responsibilities and their work. But I think we've all had a bit more time to think about, well, what would we like to do?
Albright is hoping to continue working with its members who need additional support to make their new career moves, taking this newfound time at home and turning a business idea into a reality. I'm Jessica Paris reporting.
Well, 'tis the season to fall in love with a new pet. Indianapolis Animal Care Services is hosting a special adoption event tomorrow. You're invited to take a walk through the pumpkin patch and meet dogs and puppies in need of good homes. Cats and kittens are also looking for forever families. The event goes from 1 to 8 tomorrow at the IACS shelter on South Harding Street. Adoptions will be free and no appointments are necessary. Masks will be required.
The pumpkin patch, not easy to say. Well, sunshine and pumpkins kind of go together here as we go through the day tomorrow. 69 by the time we get to 11 a.m. Afternoon high, mark 83 degrees. Enjoy the warm-up.
Enjoy the weekend as well. Thanks for joining us for WRTV News at 11. Have a safe weekend, everybody.